Okay, it says I'm live again, so it might take a couple seconds to get extra spicy and live for y'all. We'll see, though. We will see. So when things are back on your end, you just give me a holler, let me know. And then we'll start getting things started. We will dive into this very wholesome story about enjoying your youth. Because that's ultimately what this is about, isn't it? Just enjoy your youth. Have a good time. Live from New York, it's Thursday night. Yo, we're live. Alright. Well then. I guess that would be our cue. Go ahead. Get comfortable. Got our water here. That's good. That is a Higurashi thermos. Everything will stay the temperature you put it in there for at least 8 hours. So since I want really cold water, I bet the water in this sumbitch is cold as fuck. Bring them lights down. There we go. You bring the lights down for a nice wholesome story. Like the one we were about to indulge in. Alright. Alright, so who's ready? Alright, so who's ready for to make some more childhood memories? To make some wholesome childhood memories with your friends in the countryside. Memories that you'll never forget. They'll plant themselves into your brain like a broad axe. Just boom, right there, man. Just slam it right in. Alright, well, that's what we're going to do. Going to click this continue, load up here. Boom, I think we left off with tips last night, so we're all caught up on that. Alright, so everything should be good and ready to go. Volume's good on my end. If there's any volume weirdness on your end, be sure to let me know, and we're going to get started. Off to the races. Here we go. A Colonel Sanders. Oh, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? In the original text, and in the anime as well, they called him Kenta-kun to kind of avoid, I guess, directly referencing, but it obviously still looks like him. But I think that since they don't show him in the visual novel, at least the original releases, to my knowledge, your pressure cooker is cooking. Missing an O-ring. Oh no. Ordering from a taqueria. Nice. She's gonna fry him like chicken. Probably better to hear it from Rena, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's just so cute, though. Does Rena often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well... If Rena enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What are they doing over there? Darn construction? Damn construction? Darn construction. I edited a word, and I didn't even have to. It wasn't even a curse. It was an actual damn. God damn it. It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. It was canceled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. Hoover Dam! That's right, it was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir, and we had no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. I'm sorry, I didn't keep you, did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Yeah, sure it did, you trash child. A few more wallows in the dirt. Probably all you needed. Satoko, wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Good start, ladies and gentlemen. We're off. We're pooping. We're pooping already. We are 5 seconds into this and we are pooping. Let's go. How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty, such as myself? Who was she calling a maiden? I'm gonna butter it up real good. Oh no! Oh, who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. Just the usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maebara-kun, wishes to be included as a member of our activities. What say you? Rena has no objection. Oh ho 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 ho. I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maebara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed into the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they're in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This is starting to sound a bit sketchy. So, what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished last place. Uh-oh, Batsu game time. Here we go. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society, aim only for first place. Going in half-assed just because it's a game isn't allowed. She's a gamer. Like, Mion, straight up gamer. Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for my rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty. She can get nasty. That girl gets all nasty. You know how nasty Rena gets? We know how she smells, so... can't be that nasty, right? This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around the student lockers in the back of the room. They have games here at school. It's a club. It's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games will put Kei-chan at a disadvantage, so today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game like Old Bachelor? That's how it goes, right? Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based. Face painting with oil-based paint? This is perfect! Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. Sounds absolutely engaging. They even got this crazy music going for it now. Oh yeah, they're going all in on this Old Bachelor fake card game that's probably real, and I'm just being ignorant. I'll take out the card now. Old Bachelor jams. Exactly. Rena took out one card from the left face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious from the end game. No way to tell from the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to one face. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. The deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique, Keiichi-kun, and you should be able to remember them pretty quickly. Yo, Jet, how's it going? Buy the full album now for $12.99. A number of cards are quite unique, Keiichi-kun. Should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that as a matter of factly. Going alright? Good to hear. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that could be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear of each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. It was a test. Then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. How about I tell you your hand's starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. Yarg! By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. Yarg! I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I'm out! Urgh! I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons! You're all demons! Rena isn't a demon too, right? Right? You're pure. We know that you smell good. You can't possibly be cheating. Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Warg! Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan? These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match of the deserted island, these guys would probably take it like a fish to water. This is a very zero-time dilemma. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. Oh my god, yeah. I think it's unfair for Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. It's fine, it's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan. Keep on fighting, yeah. She's very enthusiastic. Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maebara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorize them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Whoa, great, Keiichi-kun, just like that! I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands and other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corners should be the 5, and I'm out. I couldn't let any of these precious hints slip me by. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it to be taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know. It's this one! Got it! 7 of spades. Eat shit, trash child! What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough. Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was, too. Whoa! It's just rare that Michan gets a card wrong. No! Kei-chan, could it be you? They told them apart by different marks. A mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit! Keiichi landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap. That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was an incredible match, you know? Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win, and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That would be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory. Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card in my right or the card in my left? Okay. If Kei-chan can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show you the card on the other hand. That okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright, you got it. Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder, Keiichi-kun? Be careful! Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't the one I had seen before. Ah, that card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. Clucked it? Has anybody ever clucked their tongue before? I'm gonna need an expert in eyebrow cocking and tongue clucking. If I can get one of those on aisle 5, somebody give me a hand here. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker. Oh, Kei-chan thinks that's the one from the right. Thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that card on the right was the Joker. Even without me unsounding, the one on the right was the most suspicious, but wasn't it a bit too rash to decide solely based on Satoko's reaction more carefully? I remember now that mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. This is 7 of clubs, I see. I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. Oh, what makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card, so that means... I see, I get it. This left card, it's being disguised as a 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that the shadow had run across Mion's expression, and I didn't let it slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! I think that's how it probably sounds voice acted. I would imagine it does anyway. It was an intense moment. The 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika-chan is... Rena and Satoko gaped at us as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rena? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? It was fair and square. Rika only pets someone on the head to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena allowed a small shriek. Keiichi-kun, this is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was that answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked the card up from the losing hand. Kei-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I had just picked up the right one without reading so deeply into it, we after 5'd it. We just overthought it. I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara. Everyone made commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Michan pulled the little trick behind her back, I got excited thinking she's going to do it again. When Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly? Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons! You're all monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm starting to think penalty game maybe not so bad. Maybe? Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. She took a cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No! I let out my death throes. That is the first time we will see that phrase. The only time we will see that phrase in this visual novel, I'm sure. She drew a dong on your face. She would be the type to do that, though. Like, it literally wouldn't surprise me if it was a dong. As soon as club activities were finished, Rena flew off. She grew wings, she sprouted them from her back, and like the angel we know she is, she flew to the Nevermore, to never be seen again. Probably so she could dig out the cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together. A rather rare occurrence. That Soul Asylum video. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought their wildest dreams that Renan would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh right, Mion would probably tell me. The murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at the damn construction site. Did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the damn reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys got really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. They were nasty. Don't be a nasty. You hear that, chat? Don't be a nasty. I don't want to be here next week and hear about any of you being nasties. All right? It's not I got a lot more faith in y'all than that. Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators. And as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by a dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home. Got it? I got it. I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Like, why wouldn't you check that before going out into public? I mean, obviously they probably wouldn't let you because these are 3 very lively girls that would do everything in their power to make you look like a gigantic doofus while out. So, yeah. Oh yeah, she drew a dong on his face. There's just a big old dong where his nose is at right now. Damn you, Mion, you shall rue this day. If our rules are ever reversed, I'm gonna slop it on. Oh man, I'm gonna just glop it on. He's gonna glop it on people. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. It's just gonna go all over your face. All over your face. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered in my ear, "Welcome back, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work well. Dad's paintings feed the entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibaras." We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around in the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. You're not going to be like that fucking garbage child I see you with all the time. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Oh, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I didn't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever find out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. Sometimes you just gotta be curious about your new whereabouts. Maybe the murder happened. Maybe you want to know about the murder happening. I spotted Rena struggling up the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat.
Working up a sweat. Let me smell it. Let me smell the sweat.
Hey John, welcome. Yeah, this game's got a vibe. I'm really digging it. Like it's so fun revisiting this again. You wouldn't believe just like I don't know if it came across yesterday, but when I was reading that opening poem by Frederica Bernkastel, I actually got a little choked up because I know what that poem means, and it kind of like hit me. It was like, oh right, man. Like it was like I had a little moment there yesterday of reconnecting with this story and these characters stuff in a way that was really fun. Whoa, Keiichi-kun. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see she was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? What? Accident? Huh? But there was a report. Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, you scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I didn't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Oh, God. He's so smitten, it's ridiculous. Look at that. That's adorable. Yeah, right. This is a really beautiful story. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, what part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. Where is Colonel Sanders? Oh, sorry. Can't you see him? In that gap. He's really buried in there, huh? The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and he's buried like the... Alright, which one of you in here went and dumped on Rena's Colonel Sanders? If you speak up right now, I'm not going to get mad. If you just tell the truth, if you went and took a dump on Colonel Sanders, I'm not going to get mad. But if I have to go and figure this shit out myself, I'm going to be very angry. This is your only chance to fess up. The music in this version, royalty-free stuff. To my knowledge, it's kind of like there are things that were uniquely composed for this series, but then there's just a giant library of stuff that some of the other stuff is taken from, and that's the case for both Umineko and this. And I know Labyrinth of Toho was entirely taken from public libraries, and that game's got some amazing music. So, just kind of like how most Dojin circles roll, I think. But yeah, like I know that this has got some stuff that I think that the stuff that was uniquely crafted for this series probably is in the later chapters after they started getting loads of money, because this series actually didn't start getting super popular until like the third volume came out in mid 2003, I think. But I would say like somewhere around like the answer arcs is probably when they were getting some stuff uniquely composed for it, because they probably had the money to do so. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself with those scrawny arms, you little weak girl? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders is so cute. There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one though, I should be able to take this one home. I love it. Like there's probably a chain on the one at the Kentucky Fried Chicken because this bitch probably tried to steal it already. Oh, you thought you were hearing newer versions of the early chapters had new music? Yeah, see, I don't know if that's like I would have to go back and listen, like, because I have the original versions of these games too. So I would have to actually go back and take a listen to this, like, and see like what's happening in the scenes. I know that some music for the localization did get changed because of royalty issues. Yeah, like that's something I'd have to actually go back and check my original discs for. If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store that she's already tried to steal. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely it was another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back, weak woman. Herng! Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautifully across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more, even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because how little I had progressed, because I'm a little weenie man with little weenie arms too. If I was gonna do this seriously, I'd need an axe or a saw or something. You'd need an axe or a saw or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Aw. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Aw, whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Sure you did, Keiichi. We know that. Yeah. It's obvious. It's obvious. You got it bad. It's okay. Just admit it. Yeah, I'm sure one of them can hook him up with an axe. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. Zoom. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Getting music from free web portals. Hey, I have another visual novel that I'm working on that I'm pulling everything from Newgrounds, so. So I'm with you. And it's full novel mode too. So yeah. That's like some generalized idea about next visual novel project that I've got in my brain and have been working on. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. There were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. I like what they're doing with the music here. That's just nice and unsettling, isn't it? If it was just as Tomitaki-san had said, then undoubtedly there would be a mention of murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There was a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I fastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at dirty magazines. But it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know, but it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. See, like, if this were me, and this is just kind of person I am, if, like, my friends say the murder didn't happen, but, like, some weird photographer I just met yesterday said, hey, a murder happened, probably gonna believe my friends, but that's just me. Then if both Rena and Mion, oh yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it as they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph and colored pages in the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was the assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? This wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people. with hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Eek! Sorry! Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe as she was holding onto the ground after being startled by my voice. Keiichi-kun, you see earlier, yeah, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's definitely kind of like, it doesn't have those same connotations in this text, I'm pretty sure. Night was drawing close. It was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break the last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out your Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Ooh. Uh-oh. Things is happening. Oh, Jesus. Rena versus Clover versus Haru. That's fucking scary. You have received new tips. The Hinamizawa Dam Project and special tabloid report. Who likes tips? We got tips. We got tips for days. Actually, we got two of them. So, we're going to check out the Hinamizawa Dam Project. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. Okay. Hold on. Resituating. Got to be comfortable doing this kind of thing, you know. Yep. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number, Hinamizawa's Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam, will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yaguchi. The submerged area includes 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, forestry department, lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years of our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions after the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, something, openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by the sublime power through unity. And they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into the lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. There's a name to keep in mind. Maybe. Right. Now moving on. We got tabloids. Special tabloid report. These are always good. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. In X month of X day in XX Prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return and quickly escalated the homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. XX's son had tormented the suspect daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of the group XX who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated, but what does that mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up on his objections. But XX's plan collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader XX's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX had said he was going to throw the body, the right arm, into the marsh. XX's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues as to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, the marsh is believed to be bottomless. It is known as Onikakushi, the ogre's abyss, and it is said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from the hell that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Oh my god. There we go. The Zijin Dragger, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business, success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm. No, not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. Go us, I know what we're buying. Yeah, we need Phoenix Wright on this shit. How's it going, Alfredo? Nice to see you. We be reading a story. It's story time here in Polyland, and we are telling the story of very happy things happening. I can promise you. Only happy things happen in Higurashi. I believe that puts us in an end of a chapter, so I'm going to get up, stretch out a bit, and we'll be back, and we're going to do another one. All right? All right. We will be right back. Hello. Hey, how's it going? That was Nageki no Mori from the PlayStation 2 game. It is very, very good. I think that of all of the Higurashi themes, I think that's the best one. It's just so much going on in that theme. Very, very chilling. What do we got? You made some ramen noodles last night with jalapeno slices mixed in. Yes, that's very good. In Mexican, ramen noodles are called marucha, named after the Maruchan noodles. Well, there you go. You come to my stream, you learn things, and you don't even need to learn them from me. There you go. Well, so you are familiar with Higurashi, are you, Elfino? Interesting. It's very good. It is not too hard to understand if you kind of just stick with it. It's one of those things where you kind of got to see the second season for it to make sense, or else it's just going to be like, why does this thing keep happening? Oh, weird. That'd be a little creepy. You've got your own Oyashiro-sama. Nice. But we are going to continue. Off we go. Into the races, people. The function of this school as an educational facility is very questionable. I find myself saying that about nearly every school where I live. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. Oh boy, well, we knew it was coming. It's that time. It's time for the gym uniforms. You kind of got to accept that this is part of this game and this story and what they're doing. Oh yeah, you had to check it out. Right. It's mandatory. It's good shit. You have to see Kai for the whole thing to make sense, though. Now helping it, everybody's a different age or gender. The only rule we have is to stay on school grounds while exercising. All the little kids are gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might be getting plenty of exercise, but the Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now, so shall we do? What shall we do today for PE? All right, we have our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what shall we do for PE today? What shall we do? Everybody has a different gender. Now that's the good shit. The green-haired girl, the one who was part of the conspiracy dodgeball, began harumphed and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area. Explosive power and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust is your own body. What the heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga, I quipped without missing a beat. And so we'll be taking a lesson from history. The tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag. It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much. Just what I was hoping for. The dunderhead Keiichi-san shall be the first one to be it. Little trash child, you will be the first one who is to be it, and by it, you will be the trash can. I won't be beaten. I'll try my best to. You can't beat me. Why are you guys all so into it? It's literally just tag. The third rule of our society, you must partake in the game, enjoying it without question. Then this counts as a club activity? Everyone smirked at each other. They all seemed pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls of my own age. Regardless, Mion and Satoko looked like they were aiming for victory, and Rena was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage. Fine! Tag! I'm in! My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was a winner. But we didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also become it. So the number of people who are it could increase exponentially. The end game would become a hellish siege. They call the version we're playing here zombie tag, you see. I see. Anyone infected by a zombie turns into a zombie. This is the game. The game. Capital T, capital G. The game. Why do you make it sound so scary, I wonder? As soon as I catch Rena, I'm gonna tear out her entrails while she's still alive. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Gross, Keiichi-kun. That's gross. Everybody in chat is breathing manually. Rika-chan placed her hand on Rena's head as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiichi gobbles you down, I'll eat you up gently, Jesus. Rika, that isn't comforting at all. Both me and I nodded deeply. I knew that was going to get somebody in chat. So the first it, how do you decide who's the zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it's class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who isn't able to answer is the zombie. I have no idea which grade level they're coming from. There's that music again. What does the Japanese word roku mean? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Mion repeated it. So you need to answer. What's roku in English? It's 6. Yeah, that's a pretty obvious one there. How about Katsushita? Socks. What's the third to the last letter of the alphabet? It's X. What does Seibetsu mean? Of course I know what that is. Satoko cut herself off before finishing the answer. It was quite a lewd question. You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what it is, right? I certainly do. Of course I know. Then go ahead and say it. That you know that. What does that mean exactly? Satoko looks like she's in trouble. How cute. Don't take her home. It's a crime. If I didn't nip it in the bud, she really might have tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit of relentless made Satoko stammer. Now then, go ahead and say it. Nice and loudly. What does that mean? I do know. That means a person, thing, idea, action, or event which has been previously indicated in context. Little bitch just played the game and won. Yo, Smitty, what is up? How goes it? Welcome. To you too. Man, if you come in, it's part of the game where it's like, I swear this is a horror visual novel and not some weird thing. I swear. All of us were a bit surprised by Rika-chan's unexpected answer. I see. Well, that certainly is what that means. That's clever. That could have been awkward. I wonder what it would have done in Satoko's position. I'd probably get ticked off and just blurt out, you know what, at the top of my lungs. Y'all can't just say sex. Since when have teenagers been afraid of the word sex? Usual-ish. Did you get to play any light today? Depends on what your definition of is. I wouldn't want you as an enemy, Mion Sanazaki. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole. It appears I have no choice. Unfortunately, I, Satoko Hojo, shall assume the role of the zombie and garbage child. I shall eat everyone. Because I live in a garbage can and I don't get to eat it all, you see. Seems like she's raring to go. All I must do is count to 100, correct? Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100, so you can start chasing after you solve this problem. Whoa, Keiichi-kun, give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of a cake, 1/6 of a cake, and 1/7 of a cake are all on a table. Oh no. There's common denominators. Satoko grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing cake fractions on the ground. If Satoko can eat one cake in 60 seconds, eats all of them. How many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted, "Ready, go!" We're leaving the little dumb child to do math. On the signal, everyone but Satoko scattered. That wasn't a problem at all, was it? Satoko had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all. Of course there's nothing left on the plate. Keiichi, he's a crafty devil. Everyone dashed off in the direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over the school grounds, I saw Satoko rising up to start. She was really, really mad. She got tripped up on such a dumb question. Batman 1966 riddles. I stood in one of the corners of the school. I had clear sight lines on two directions and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was trained to think during club activities yesterday. Now think calmly, Keiichi Maibara. If I was it, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory. Then going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack, meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi-san possibly be? I shan't let you escape. But of course, that would be the best method to track me down. Footprints or smell, or maybe some type of trail. If I could craftily hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Satoko to find. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita Okumura, have you seen Keiichi-san recently? What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Obviously. Tomita and Okumura pointed to the location where I was hiding. How do you split 12 apples among 13 people? Make applesauce, bitch! After confirming she was headed in the direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to find myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage from not being familiar with these surroundings. If that's how it was going to be, then to confront the intelligence-gathering zombie, I'd counter it with a similar vein. I approached some girls playing with a ball. I'm sorry, but could you relay this message? Tell Satoko Hojo that her parents are at the gate, please. Oh, that's rough.
Keiichi don't know.
Message. Okay. Wait, don't go yet. Also, take this one to Mion Sonozaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. I am quite the schemer, if I do say so myself. If things went well, the Satoko and Mion would run into each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it, but this was Mion we were talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape. But that was just fine. As long as it brought me more time. Dance for me, Mion and Satoko. Dance in the palm of my hand. Having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it logically, I'd only bought myself a scant amount of time. It might even come back to bite me. Once it became apparent I'd started spreading false information through messengers, I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Satoko would probably ask the messengers to help her look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus was brought about by my own mischief, could cause an epidemic. Oh no. All my classmates would transform into zombies and only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. While trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I have a good line of sight, but if necessary, I could jump off the 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. The lower grades were running around below the shed. Maibara-san isn't around. Is he over there? Nope. Where is Keiichi-san, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. That was definitely a lie. The word gate is the same one I used. Gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping one step ahead of the game. I felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi-san is at? His mom suddenly got sick. A message from Maibara-san. They said his house caught fire and he needs to come home to the gate. He needs to come to the gate. A jumbo jet fell on top of the Maibara residence. The police have to question him. Anything goes now. They say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. What? Is it true that he's going around every night stealing panties? Who are they talking about? I heard he wears panties on his head and smells them and stuff.
He likes the smell. He likes to smell panties.
No way I would do that. I heard the class representative Mion was a victim too. What? That was your doing, Mion! Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush you out. Just hold on. If my underclassmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. But small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of these things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking for me. Lone Order Special Victims Unit. I won, Mion. It's my victory. Wiping unrelenting tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student, Maibara-san, is a really perverted person. The cost of beating Mion had too high a price. Oh, someone's passed below. That's Rena and Rika-chan. Where are they going? Rika-chan, you're still okay? I'm getting by somehow. Ha ha, it seems Michan is it as well. Mion. That couldn't be. She'd become it because of my little strategy? That confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war. Then this wasn't good. We finally got away from Michan, but Satoko-chan sees... Satoko is searching around the pipes, so we should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Rena was slumped on the ground, breathing heavily, Rika-chan had started creeping up to her. Rika-chan doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. It couldn't be. Whoa, Rika-chan! What is it? What is it? Don't worry. I had never seen Rika-chan smile so creepily before. Why are you coming closer? Why? Rika-chan isn't a zombie, is she? Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. No way! Rika-chan, no! Eee. Rena was pressed against the wall and Rika-chan lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Rena quaked in her back, pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Rena's eyes met mine. Keiichi-kun, save me! Zombie Rika-chan turned 180 degrees, exorcist style, and glared at me. It's okay to have no idea what's going on. They're playing a very weird version of tag, and it's a visual novel. You get used to this stuff. I found him! I see Kei-chan! Mion popped out from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not as good. You said you located Keiichi-san. I could tell the Satoko was rushing my way. It seemed that Rika-chan let Rena escape, and she was now baring her fangs in my direction. Oh no. Come on down, Keiichi-chan! The three zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary! Too scary. I wonder how Keiichi-chan's... Oh god, I wonder how Keiichi-san's guts taste. Keiichi-san! Keiichi, I want you to become one of us! Someone, please save me! I saw Rena apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology? Sorry. Leaving me for dead? Rena! You're the worst! I leapt off the roof in fear, slipping as I landed. Satoko and Rika jumped on top of me, and after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body. Stop, stop, stop! So this means Rena is still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Rena! How dare you leave me for dead? The feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful ghosts with lingering regrets felt. It's sad. So sad, but Keiichi is one of us now. It felt as if I'd bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling, being welcomed over the side that had pursued me. Zombie tag is quite profound. There is no time to postulate. We must capture Rena. The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. To devour Rena, I, who had turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except I wasn't just a zombie. I was a master of the night. A vampire. Using the same trick that had tightened the noose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. I gathered up lower grades from around the school grounds. Everyone listen. Rena's in big trouble. All of you, please look for Rena. There's a bigger problem than a jumbo jet crashing into your family's house. Oh yeah, it had turned into that, hadn't it? Mion whistled nonchalantly, trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, it's not even in the same league as jumbo jets. What fell on Rena's house was a space colony. A space colony? Yeah, it's a really big disaster. Everything within a 100-kilometer radius is obliterated. But this is the only prelude to the tragic tale. This is the beginning of the start of the war for independence by the propagandapality of Xeon. The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. Boy, uh-oh. We're disconnected. Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting there. We are disconnected at the moment, but we will see what we can do about that. Uh-oh. We'll get you, don't worry. Hold on. We have a disconnect. We're good. We had a disconnect. You folks just be good little boys and girls and let me know when we're back. Yeah, my modem reset on its own for some reason. That was weird. Alright, we back? It looks like we're back. Yeah, I had a weird modem reset. Well, alright. Alright, back to it, ladies and gentlemen. The most intense tag game you've ever played in your life. We have a space colony falling on Rena's house. It's going to be a disaster that wipes out everything in a 100-kilometer radius. It's just a prelude. We're going to war with the propagandapality of Xeon. Can you believe this? The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. What will happen? Craziness. We'll assume. Oh, whoa. Go back. Okay. What will happen? Will the Terran Foundation lose? If things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Rena Ryugu. The lower grade students all gulped. It seemed I'd made them fully understand the fight for Earth was lost without Rena. I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, you can't fight a galactic war without Rena, can you? Now scatter, comrades! We must find Rena! The stream went down for a couple of minutes. My modem disconnected. But when this is archived on YouTube, it'll all be there because I just kept recording. So we're good. We're good. We're back. Now, scatter, comrades. We must find Rena. My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone, but I thought even the Terran Foundation's impulse wave diffusal cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. You're close. That's the white variety of those comets. There's a reason it didn't work, and it's because they didn't know the weak point. Of course, Rena knows their weak point all too well. Ryuga-san is amazing. Yeah, it wasn't on your end. It was mine. It should work on your... it should totally work on your browser again. Like, it was just on my end. Satisfied with that, also rushed off to look for Rena. It does seem like there are more promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters. Little Kei-chan's abilities. This old man knows them better now. It didn't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional, Keiichi-san. It looks quite promising. If they have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have been a better nominee for the initial zombie. Rika-chan's words stung a bit, but I had let it slide for now. Not even Rena would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Rena was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shield. You want green hair to beat the fake blonde. You're all scary, Keiichi-kun too. So scary. It probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades all the lower grades closed in on Rena, saying she was the only one who could save the world. What are you all saying? I can't control a mech. Rena, how could you leave me for dead? You are ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi-kun, but I didn't have a choice. Do not resist. Let yourself be devoured. This is real John Thayer energy right here. Let's all be together. Now, Rena, say your prayers. Mwahaha. Rena had stumbled onto a mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in. Associating this situation with a similar, particularly immoral one, with my pulse quicken a little bit. Satoko and Rika-chan were both wiggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Rena. Rena, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. What in the world? Okay, Nightbot, you do you. I did specify that this was a mature stream because, I mean, there is... there is content warning content in this video game, and I tried to say that, but Nightbot's like, no, that's SJW shit. This is such good hijink. Yeah, they animated this in, I think Season 2. I think they moved this segment to Season 2. Nightbot's having fun. Keiichi-kun, you wouldn't mean things like everyone else, would you? Would you? I wonder. Oh. Now then, are you ready to be devoured? Okay, so, oh no. Okay, so long as it's Keiichi-kun. The face she made as she resigned herself to her fate made my heart skip a beat. I believe that Keiichi-kun won't do horrible things to me. Our body won't move. This had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. There's the bell. Game over. Yay, I did it. I did it. I survived. Yay. All I had to do was make his little pecker stand on end. Rena pranced around merrily as if a curse had been broken. So the daylight broke in the nick of time and the evil zombie army disintegrated into dust. And so the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyway. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi-san was dawdling about. Punishment is required. I was subdued by Satoko and Rika-chan and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles. Eek, forgive me. Then the award for surviving goes to Rena Ryugu and Mion Sanazaki. Yay! Huh? Michan wasn't a zombie? I only pretended to be one. They say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know. Mion, you little cunt. Yeah, hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for the next class. Let go of me, Satoko, Rika-chan, guy. I've had my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities. I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Mion plays like 5D level chess. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. We going home again. After arriving home, I quickly made preparations to head out once again. I had agreed to meet with Retta and dig Colonel Sanders out of that mountain of treasure from before. Mom, do we have work gloves? I need towels, too. Aren't they in the shed out back? The towels are by the sink. Alright, now I was all ready. Looking at me, and my mom stared quizzically. What's going on, Keiichi? Where are you headed in such a getup? If they come to dump again illegally, he'll be buried completely, and it'll be impossible to dig him out. If that happens, Rena will be undoubtedly go after the Colonel Sanders in front of the fried chicken place downtown. A bit of excavating, so my classmate doesn't become a criminal. Well, don't be out too late. That's exactly how that interaction would go. Mom returned to the kitchen with a puzzled expression still on her face. Cutting through the woods in a shortcut to the dam site, I ran into someone. Hey, it's Muscle Photographer again. I'm gonna remind everybody that this is what this guy really looks like. Just because his old sprite gives me a chuckle. It gives me a chuckle. I can't help it. Just look at this guy. Look at him. It's too much. It's too much. What's the matter? Colonel Sanders' chicken. He has no thing. Well, that's a common thing with this art style and this particular group. The original art for these games is very. It has a style, and it's a style that has continued up until even last year. Like this same people have released another game last year with art that is still very similar to what they're doing. So give them credit for having their style. It was Tomitake-san, probably taking pictures of wild birds again with his precious camera of his. It couldn't be that he took pictures of those handsome young men in the twilight. Hey, long time no see, Keiichi-kun, right? My due regards. I expelled the rude imagery from my head and greeted him without. By the way, was that girl an acquaintance of yours? He was probably talking about Rena, guessing by the way Tomitake-san was shaken up. What was that all about? She was just walking around with an axe, and she was laughing with a huge smile across her face. That was Rena, without a doubt. It was probably because she could take it home today, so she couldn't hide her excitement. I hid myself because I thought it might be dangerous. Should I call the cops just to be safe? Well, it certainly would be quite the spectacle for a girl of her age to be roaming around with an axe. Tomitake-san's reaction is the epitome of logical. It's fine, just leave her be. She's just wandering around looking for more victims. Tomitake-san was alarmed by my crass response. Well, it was probably hard for normal people to understand Rena. I'll just toss a bunch of BS out there. If you were to be killed out here, she'd probably be the one to do it. Try not to snoop too much around here. Jesus! With a condescending smirk, I stared off in the direction of the dam site where Rena was waiting. Before I get too far, Tomitake-san abruptly called out to me. Keiichi-kun, is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? I didn't mean that seriously. I did try to make it obvious, but haha, I'll try my best to be careful. Leaving only those words behind, Tomitake-san turned around and left. I didn't really mean to call him an outsider. I wasn't really implying anything when I said that. It was only meant to be a joke, but it felt like I'd said something bad. Felt like accusing my friend of being a little murderous might not have been the best of ideas, perhaps. Keiichi-kun, I was waiting for you. Let's try our best today. I understood what Tomitake-san was trying to say. Somebody's gallivanting about while waving an axe around certainly would seem dangerous. You should cover the axe with something when you're out in public. It's not good to carry it around out in the open like that. Seems that I lost it, so there isn't one. Thinking about it, as there really was no need to try and keep up appearances. Everyone in Hinamizawa probably already knew about Rena's eccentricities. She's probably the only person who could carry an axe around Hinamizawa and not be considered suspicious. Oh well, let's finish this today. If we bust through that last beam, we should be able to pull him out. I've got everything I need. Leave it to me. Okay, I took the axe from Rena and made my way up the unstable slope. Just wait, Colonel Sanders. Keiichi-kun will save you. Alright, get back. I'll finish this in one go. A solid thwack rang throughout Hinamizawa as if the job was being done by a lumberjack. How is it? Think you can do it? If it looks too hard, you don't have to strain yourself. If I can break through this, then we'll be good. I have plenty of power today. I can do it. But this adversary was more formidable than I had expected. First of all, I'd never used an axe before. During a school camping trip, I had wanted to split the wood, but I lost at rock, paper, scissors and wasn't able to do it. Because the spot where I was standing was so unstable, I soon became tired. I decided to take a break. Yeah, you want to see original sprite work, Rena? Here we go, man. Here we go. I'll give you since you are the unawares. Boom. It is a thing. Old Higurashi art is a thing. She got fingies. Them fingies. Rena had already spread out a tarp and laid down some tea and sweets. I'm fine. I'm almost there. I'll make sure Rena can give Colonel Sanders a good night kiss tonight. Yeah, thanks. Giving Colonel Sanders a good night kiss. Aww. Come to think of it, Rena, you're a transfer student too, right? Where did you live before? I asked her nonchalantly while drinking tea. I had thought she'd lived here all her life. Huh? In Kanto. It wasn't as rural as it is out here, but it was still out in the countryside. Why did you move here? To Hinamizawa, I mean. You know, this is pretty far out in the boonies. Why did you move here? Does it have to do with your dad's work? Dad said he wanted to move out to a studio. He'd been saying for a while that he was somewhere deep in the mountains like this would be perfect. Studio? Is your father an artist or something? He paints scenery. It seems like twice a year he opens a gallery for the stuff he does. When he started, his works were displayed in an industry plaza in Tokyo, but now they're exhibited in Makuhari Messe. He's determined to have them displayed in the Waterfront International Exhibition Hall. That's amazing! Let me see them next time. I was too embarrassed to tell her that I didn't really know what kind of pictures my father painted. Well, eventually I would pick myself up while giving them vague answers. But you transferred in the middle of the semester, didn't you? Wasn't that a hassle? Not really. I was getting bored of the city anyway. I was trying to get answers from Rena, but I ended up being the one giving out all the answers. With a bit of a wry smile on my face, I grabbed the handle of the axe and headed back to the work site. People good at dodging questions around these places. The air grew colder, the sun slowly set. The Higurashi began their song as if to tell me to stop and head home for the day. Just a bit more. Today, I would end it. When I first started, I chatted with Rena as I worked, but now I didn't have that luxury. You little damn it! I'd swung the axe countless times today, just like this. Contact, shards of wood splintered. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. I recalled that passage from the tabloid. One hit with something like this would smash someone's head in. Axes and pickaxes are not meant to be swung at people, ever. You hear that, chat? I want you to pay attention to the very important safety lessons that this game is impressing upon each and every one of us. With one last swing, the beam cracked apart. The weight I put behind the axe not only split through the beam, but smashed the statue's shoulder as well. The arm came off with a sickening sound. Oops! It clattered down noisily, stopping at my feet. Ah! What's the matter? Are you hurt? Sorry, the figure's arm, I broke it off. Oh, that's all. I thought Keiichi-kun hurt himself. I probably had already had a really guilty look on my face. Rena said that without a hint of dismay as she smiled. We just need to tape it back on and put a coat over him. Nobody'll ever notice. I see. Let's pull him out then. Can you get that side? Okay. We're gonna lug ourselves a Colonel Sanders doll right out of the scrap heap. Go us! Team Chicken. Seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. I laughed dryly at how pathetic I was for considering the arm flopping down and rolling to my feet to be such a bad omen. Both Rena and Mion knew how sickening that incident was, so they pretended that they didn't know. I had looked it up all by myself, and shamefully enough, I was scared. You're pathetic, Keiichi Maebara. All right, Rena. Let's do this in one go. Ready, and... Whoa, we did it! We did it, Keiichi-kun! Yay! That's right. The right time to give 3 cheers. That moment of 2 days' work bearing fruit. He was brought to Hinamizawa, covered in filth, to meet his end. Instead, we were able to welcome him back. You're pretty lucky, Colonel Sanders. Your new master is a pretty decent person. Why, Colonel Sanders, he's really cute. It wouldn't matter that he was dirty. Rena nuzzled him cheerfully with her cheek. I was dead tired, but seeing Rena's happy face made it all worth it. I'll help you carry it back, and it'd be bad. Having a stroke there. I'll help you carry it back. It'd be bad if it gets dark. Yeah, right. I really want to thank you, Keiichi-kun. I won't forget this. Think real hard about how you'll repay me, okay? Whoa, I wonder what kind of repayment, I wonder. For now, I'll just hold back my evil cackle. We were ready to take it to her house, but we couldn't go like this. We rolled the statue up in a tarp and lifted him. And so Jack and Jill went down the hill, carrying a human-sized bag and an unsheathed axe. I prayed that we wouldn't run into Tomitaki-san. If he saw us here and look at the picture, we'll need to get rid of him. LOL! LOL! It actually says LOL! Somebody kill me. I literally felt myself turning to dust there. LOL! Now give me some LOL in chat. Let's go. There we go. Is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? Something struck me odd about the words Tomitaki-san, unable to grasp my sense of humor, had left behind. Yeah, that's weird foreshadowing there. Maybe. LOL. 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 You have received new tips. What kind of name is Rena? What's up with your stupid name, dumb girl? It's tip time. Who's ready for tips? What kind of name is Rena? Rena's not here. Do you know where she is, Keiichi? Huh? She was just there, actually. Hey, Mion, where did Rena go? Rena, where did she go? To the bathroom? She did say that she's been having bowel troubles lately. Fantastic, Mion. Good to know. I hadn't heard anything about that. Satoko, did you know where Rena went? Bad case of renal failure. Rena, you say? I just passed her in the hallway. Rena's class duties today, so she's off to water the flower bed. Ah, it was Rena's turn for class duty. That's very much appreciated. Rena, Rena, Rena. Upon hearing it repeated, a thought came to my mind. It's rude to say this about someone's name, but it was a weird name. It was like some foreigner's name. What kind of name is Rena, I wonder? What kind of kanji does her name use? Her name doesn't use kanji at all. It uses katakana. That's why it's weird. Rena is her nickname. She has a proper name as well. Wait, really? I was sure that Rena Ryugu was her full name. Well, I can understand that making that mistake since we only call her Rena. She even signs her name as Rena. It's like it's her real name in school. I wonder what her real name is. Let's ask her when she comes back. Satoko and Rika-chan looked at each other. You don't need to ask her. We'll tell you what it is. It's the Rei from Ore and the Na from Nara. Her name is Reina Ryugu. Reina, is it? So it's read as Rena instead of Reina? That's pretty interesting reading. No, that's not it. Reina is the correct way. Rena told us that she wanted us to call her Rena. So we call her Rena. Look at these people. Respecting what people want to be called. Some pretty progressive shit right here. Kei-chan, Rena is Rena, you know? Only strangers call her Reina. You get where this is going? I understood what Mion was saying. It didn't matter what her real name was, only what names we used between us. Rena Ryugu is Rena. She's nobody other than that. So I was thinking, if I had a nickname, would you call me by that? If it's good. So what do you want to be called? Con Man! That's not a good name. That's a bad name. Stop it. Rena then came back into the classroom. One of the juniors near the door told Rena people were looking for her. What's this now? Who's looking for me, I wonder. Seeing that, both Mion and I sneered. Bailiff, Ryugu doth show herself. Con Man, you're quite sinister. What is this? Keiichi-kun and Michan are evil bailiffs? This is a very weird... this is a weird comedy act that only works in Japanese. Like, this does not fly in English at all. Damn you, Renanosuke Ryugu! Today doth be thou meetest thy maker. Have at thee! What? Suke-san, Kaku-san, show them what for. Aye, sir! I expect my fee to be paid to my Swiss bank account. Since it's come to this, we have no choice. We'll just have a grand battle with 5 people. Rena's fierce punches exploded into proper timing to take out the seal. The evil that Mion and myself had vanquished in the end. I do hope Rena does go on a journey to make the world a better place. How about heading to Nagatacho? My destination is decided by where the cute stuff gathers. The toll of the bell signaled the break time was over, and that this thing that only works in Japanese that I would have to struggle through trying to read would soon be over as well. Come on, Keiichi-kun, Michan. Teacher coming. I took Rena's hand and stood up. It was just as the teacher had entered the classroom. Just one more hour. Man, oh man. Gotta bubble down for one more. Yeah, that shit. That's one of those, man, just excise it. That doesn't work at all in localization. That's not editing. That's just taking out things that literally make no sense. I understand trying to preserve the original content of a thing like this. But nobody that is English that read that understood it at all. I would 100% guarantee you that. I'm going to go refill my water and we're going to do probably one more chapter. So I'll be right back. If you need a refill, grab yourself one as well. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. Alright, you beautiful, lovely sons of bitches. Get ourselves cozy for one more chapter before we head out tonight. Get things going. And just starting to get a little bit of an intrigue. How was it, K-John? So you went to Renaissance House. Was it amazing? It's nothing like that, right? Right? Unlike my house, the Ryuga residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. It was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities. They were all the same Colonel Sanders stuff you'd see while walking around town. Stuff you'd see while walking around town, like a Cape Shop's mascot, Little Licky. Yo, give it up in the chat for Little Licky. I know he's out here on that grind, hustling as best he can, as only Little Licky can. The Totemon in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. I'll agree with you that those are cute, but why the mailbox? Well, don't you get in trouble for that one. But it's so cute. She must have thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better, just as long as it's big? And her room displays the similar ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement? Yep, I'll keep anything. She takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. Hey Rena, you know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Is that cute? Yep, cute. I want it. The U.S. should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. Oh, wow. Yeah? Is that what's going to happen, John? Yo, how's it going? Yeah, we're back. We're back. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika-chan had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? How rude. Rika isn't a hoodlum like Keiichi-san. Nothing like that, Keiichi-kun. Rika-chan is a member of the festival committee. Festival? The school cultural festival or something? Kei-chan, I already told you. It's the village festival, the Watanagashi. Oh, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So what's this Watanagashi thing all about? It's like a floating lantern festival? I guess the last part is where you set things adrift in a river is similar. Except we use cotton things like old worn-out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for the years of service. The people living in Hinamizawa dump their futons and padded cloaks in a stream? It sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I can smell it already. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Keiichi-san's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What? How could you tell I was thinking something silly? It was written all over your face. What sort of face could have what sort of face would have expressed what I'd imagined just now? Renan demonstrated for me. I see. No argument there. See, I could see him making that face. It's nothing fun like that, you see, but you should still look forward to it. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going. You won't get bored. We're doing it again this year. Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What is this all about? From the way Mion looked, it's probably our club's summer tradition, the Watanagashi 4-Demon Firefight. That sounds awful. What kind of name is that? I think it's a cute name, though. I tried to object sharply. Since Rena looked happy about it, I decided it was pointless to fight it. Since Keiichi is here this year, it becomes 5 demons. Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence. So, how does this funky sounding club activity tie into the festival? Oh, this is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities. Exactly. We show the full extent of the abilities the best of the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations. But last year the mayor got angry, so we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time. So basically we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika-chan is really the one who explains things so they make sense. I see, so we'll be exhibiting those busy festival grounds. Renan was right, of course. That would be a reason for the mayor to get angry. But it'll be lots of fun. That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be, without question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nay! Our voices rang out in unison. When there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. This really is the most basic of table games. Playing with a marked deck again? We'll use a new one today. There are no marks on the cards, so we're on equal footing. I wonder if that really is the case. I will have to inspect them. Well, that was fair. Just to be safe, everyone checked the cards. Yes, these seem to be fine. Like I said, Fate has dinner. This game has club activities. There's far more than I remember in the anime. These seem to be fine. Are you all satisfied? We asked this guy Michael Myers to come by. It wasn't so good. And then today I guess we'll play President. That's good for 5 people. Another standard card game. First one to get all their cards wins. The basic rules: play a better card than the one before. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well. The name, for example. In my hometown, we called it Millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. Are the jokers wild? Can you make a reversal with 3 threes? No jokers, 2 is the highest. You can reverse a reversal. You can only make a reversal with a 4 of a kind, not 3. This is confusing. Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? None of that. While I was confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look like more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's president, and it's with a new deck. I might be able to win. It was the gist of the rules now, but that wasn't everything, was it? So what shall today's penalty be? About that, why don't we all write something down on slips of paper and have the loser draw one? Oh, that seemed like it could be interesting. I'll write a nasty one and have Keiichi-san draw it. You nasty garbage child. It'd be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself. Just don't lose. Don't you know best? Mion handed out several slips of paper to everybody. Then write down whatever and put it in this bag. Then when you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you draw something you wrote. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave. Yeah, that's kind of like the gist that I get from this, knowing what I know about Fate now, and how that kind of, like, this definitely seems to kind of have a similar pace until when, quote unquote, the shit goes down, and then like it's able to focus on that. But prior to that, we do a lot of world building with characters and giving you like these little moments that like club activities and the like to kind of flesh out the story and characters a little more. No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being written down. Riki-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt. That's sneaky, Mion-san. She wrote no penalty and the corner of the slip is folded. I see. Just in case you lost, you grab the note with the folded corner, you'd be safe. Just in case you lost, you grab the note with the folded corner, you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika-chan is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't underestimate her even though she doesn't stand out. Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean. Nobody agreed to Rena's proposal. Everyone was ruthless. It's fine, Rena. Just don't lose. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try hard and everyone has to pick the penalty I write. Rena was quite brutal even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her either. Dog, she fucked you all up in tag. I think this girl knows what she's doing. She's playing you all for suckers. I agree with that. I'm very curious what Rena's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary. Still didn't know what Rika-chan's penalties would be like. Basically, you can't afford to lose this game. Everybody here ready? We all nodded determinedly. Determinedly. Yes, that's the word. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. We're gonna do this, aren't we? I don't understand this card game at all, but I am gonna have to read it. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. Not needing Mion to tell him, both Rika-chan and Satoko played their cards without hesitation. Rena and I were the only ones who paused to think. Who is the blonde girl in the green dress? That is Satoko Hojo. I call her Garbage Child. It seemed that Rena genuinely couldn't make up her mind, but I was different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to strike. Huh? Will this work? Then I'll play this 3 and I'm out. 9. Nobody. 8. 7. I'm out. 5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one and I'm out. Bah! I missed my chance. The loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion, and now I was certain. Today I could win. Final Fantasy VIII with the random rule. Now then, Michan, pull out one of the slips, okay? Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper. What? Who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked. What is it? What is it? Rena was also surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head. Hey, wait, how is that bad? Keiichi-san, do you not understand that the principal is balding and ashamed of it? Satoko yelled with a serious look on her face. Since you like green-haired blonde girl, I'll show you her original sprite as well. Let's get you that. There you go. Boom. There you go, bud. There you go. There's just some old school Satoko right there. I'm playing the rest of this scene with these sprites. It's powerful. There's so much energy here. There's so much Dojin energy in these old sprites. But she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be? The principal is a martial arts master. Like I think Rika actually ends up okay in this style. Like I think Rika ended up okay. She didn't get too I'm not sure what I would call this energy. She didn't get too dojined by this style. The principal's a martial arts master. He boasts about traveling around the world perfecting his skills when he was younger. He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war. He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head? As the club president, there's no way I can set a bad example by refusing. Phew. Hoo-yah! She billowed into the hall as she dashed off down the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak out quietly and try to do it without making a fuss? Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs just by sensing their presence. I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. You think Rika is the most hilarious? A rumble shook the classroom. That's the principal's aerial opener. Following the launcher with the jab, jab, strong, fierce combo? He's even using meter! From how it sounded, the principal jumping fierce sounds like a multi-hit combo. This is a video game, man. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nothing I could do except stay calm. I understood now why there were no delinquents at this school. After a few moments of silence, Mion slumped back to us. Headed. Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing. She's alive at least. Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed that the person who made club activities like these could say that. But now the worst penalty is gone for now, right? Right? Rena tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You all get yours. The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace, 3, 4, 5. I'm out. I'm out as well. I'm out too. 3. I'm out now. I am now out. Eek, I lost. The heavens chose to vanquish Rena. What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder? Fate was also largely written by Nasu, I believe, yeah. It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so, the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid. Huh? What is this? This one, what do I need to do? Yeah, Ryukishi did all of his writing and art. He had a fellow programmer named BT as well, who unfortunately passed away when they started working on the Umineko Answer arcs. And that's why I think that series kind of might have tanked. So basically it means that you have to use the same expressions as a maid. Okay, master. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome. Then, Rena, can you shuffle the cards and deal? Yes, master. Oh, I could just die right now. Anyway, let's continue. Right, Rena. Yes, master. The eagerness with which I was goading Rena into addressing me as master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself. Is this where your maid thing got started? Is this it? Is this the origin? Interesting. I won't lose anymore. I'm out. I shan't lose either. I'm out. Then with that, I'm out too. I can't believe it. It's Rena's loss again? Rena again? What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction. Remove one piece of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. Oh my god, I don't think we can show this on Twitch. Steel Angel Kurumi. Holy crap. Yeah, okay, I remember that. That's indecent. Who could have written this? My face reddened in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Ah, who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize. That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good, not good. What was thinking about what was written on my face? Michan? Rena begged Mion, teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already. Nope, nope, won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man. Take it off, bitch. I'll undress. Oh, Jesus. I looked around thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Then I heard the rustling of clothing. The sound of her skirt hitting the ground sent my heart racing. This fine master, I can't show this on Twitch. But these are club activities. You needed to be ruthless after all. Oh, ha ha ha. Whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not let her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Of course! Mion is too much. Todoko poke fun at me right now before I can't hear it. Yeah. Not bad, Kyo-chan. This old man never even thought you would go after her like that. You've got it wrong. I didn't write that one. Master didn't write this one? Her scrubbing around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me to not feel anything. Oh no, Keiichi, calm down. Calm down, Keiichi, my Bora. Leon probably wrote that one and planned to go in after me as I panicked. You can't fall for her trap after knowing it's a trap. Clear your head, calm down, and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this. And the answer was quite simple. I win! Then I become God. I, who had already entered the domain of godhood, what would dare stand in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business. Eek! How could the luck of the draw be so bad? Satoko lost, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister. Oh my god. Fine, Oni-chan. Yes, the pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. This old man loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Where a girl swims. I've got art assets for that. That's the penalty. That's the one I wanted Kei-chan to get. Yes! Mion's despair was like sweet honey. Master, I lost again. Rena lost. I'll draw it for you. Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. In this outfit, Master. She's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs. Oni-chan, you're too good. Satoko lost again. I'll draw. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage and then throw yourself into the garbage, garbage child. Behold the sweet meats. I had transformed into an evil dictator, and I couldn't be doing any better. I felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind, and even decide what suits would appear just by my willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Rena, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Satoko was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. Today, Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it? Please refrain from moving your head around so much. I began to think. Why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams? What is it, Keiichi? I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no end to his desires. That was it. Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being last. Keiichi is quite greedy. It is said you should know when enough is enough. I know that very well, but how do you say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died now. Master, please refrain from moving your head around. You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged, Rika-chan said in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. It was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Go, Rika-chan! Go! Take him out! Defeat this archdevil of perversion! I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl who's always hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude for me not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one! I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but pretended I didn't see it. Would you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with that? 2. Ace, ace, ace. 8, 8, 8, 8. Reversal. Everybody looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. The 4 of them had allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal, reversal. What? How could such a thing be? Satoko let out a shriek. You simpletons! Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Finally, you fall into my clutches. Now I'll pick one out. Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail. We got art assets for that. Even the penalties were as I wished. Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. Questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but since I had no objections, I didn't ask. This is very silly. This is very, very silly. This was so... It felt like I had become Rena. This was definitely cute. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it? I want to take her home. This wasn't me talking. It was the actual Rena. As Rika-chan mimicked the cat, teary-eyed rings of smoke escaped Rena's ears with an audible poof. Rika-chan must take her home. Taking her home. Just for a while. I won't do anything strange. Nothing strange. I see. I still have one trick left. Mion grasped and dropped her fist on her open palm. If Rena must, she can take me home. After Rena-san beats Keiichi-san, she can. They thought that Rena in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'd teach them their place. How preposterous that Rena could defeat me. For a moment, I didn't know what was going on. For 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Rena's hands like the machinations of a master magician. This is very silly. In the middle of those flowing cards was Rena's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we, Keiichi-kun? Hurry, hurry. My whole body knew it was ready. I was God. This is so far. Yeah, no kidding. No play. Nothing to play, Kei-chan. Then with this, I'm out. Everyone cheered as I was spent. I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. Keiichi-san's penalty. This is it. Everybody peeked at it in unison, gaze flicking between the text and my face. All day today, I did as I pleased. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? Oh. What? Every penalty up until now. What the heck? Keiichi-san, you should not be speaking like a little brother. Yeah, you can't see her hands. Yes, One-chan. This is quite addicting. Next, I'll have you rub my shoulders. Keiichi-kun, I don't need a lap pillow, so do that other one, okay? Yes, master. That's so cute. Say it again, say it again. You, please spare me, master. Rena passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from the old man. I'm gonna have you fan me for a good long while, you know. Oh, almost forgot. You need to wear this too, don't you? The school swimsuit. This is for girls. Can I wear the one for boys? It was clearly written here. Wear a girl's school swimsuit. As you can see, Satoko was a lone shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible was pretty adorable, if I do say so myself. But whose school swimsuit am I going to wear? If I were wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? Oh, this old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. Think of it as a little benefit. I'm not in that shit. I think even K-chan can fit into it. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. No! Rip. My first thought, it's tight around the waist. My second thought, the chest area is pretty loose. Third thought, the crotch area was... How? Keiichi-kun is bending forward, cute. You'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail. Kei-chan, you want to look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. It's probably best if you look. The stern scientific calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary. This is definitely someone's fetish. I would like to respectfully decline, Master. Your ensemble's complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Then is enough. I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders and Rika-chan slipped up behind me without a sound. Not yet, Keiichi. There's still the first penalty left. In this get-up, Rika-chan patted my head without saying a word. Rip. Yeah, it's like, this entire scene was 20 fetishes. Sir, excuse me. Yes, please come in. I stepped forwards to the principal's office. My bell collar jingled adorably. The principal froze, solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office, though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail, and for it to be a young male student, without a doubt, any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. This could be explained. Well, you call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act in confirming this is a human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. Mion and Rena are like probably 15 and 16. That was my one and only chance for victory. My penalty. Rubbing the principal's head. Principal, I challenge you! I heard what sounded like a shing 3 times. His 3-gauge super. The principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? And in a heartbeat, boom. The tremor resounded throughout the Hinamizawan twilight. Bad end. Bad end. They look like they're 10, but they act like they're 20. Well, I think that just kind of like is more like the looking like they're 10 is no real thanks to this art style we were rolling with. We're gonna go back to the updated sprites now. Like I said, I got no problem with the older sprites, but when I talked to people yesterday, it seemed they kind of prefer the updated look. This still feels so completely... Yeah, like, it feels completely innocent and nice. Like, this stuff feels like it's coming from just, like, a fun place. Like, the people writing this, I felt, were having a good time. Rena was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again, today was just Mion and I going home. Man, that was intense. I didn't know K-chan was so good at President. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. But still, it's pretty bad. Being carried off in a stretcher in that outfit would probably haunt me until the day I die. But that's fine, isn't it? You were able to do something to boast about for the ages, too. Well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Oh, hey! Oh, we meet again, Keiichi-kun. It was Tomitake-san. It felt like I'd been running into him quite often. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitake-san suddenly leaned over and whispered in my ear, You sure get around. Today you already have a different girl? It's not like that. No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitake-san let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitake-san is quite a catch himself. No, that wasn't my intention. Sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake-san quite well. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Watanagashi? Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography, after all. Man, Nightbot, would you shut up? I'm kicking you out of this channel tonight when I'm done streaming. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in their 30s? What does it matter if you taste like? That's so gross. Oh, look at the time. I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark. Tomitake-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It didn't look like he was outmatched by Mion. Yeah, that was actually really good. I like that line. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. I'm gonna wipe myself out here. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi. The way he's going, it probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opened up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So you know Tomitake-san. Yeah, he's an acquaintance of sorts, but we know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. It sounded like you meet him all the time. Tomitake-san comes around to Hinamizawa regularly, maybe 2-3 times a year. He says he's taking pictures for the seasonal scenery and wild birds, but well, those photos are nothing to phone home about. The image of Mion painted of Tomitake-san was fairly unique. The Tomitake-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly as if I asked, why did you say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like, about the incident? The dismemberment? Oh, you too. If so, you've got good instincts, Kei-chan. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it. You knew about it. You knew about it then, Mion. Of course. He might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. It felt like all apprehensions I had about Tomitake-san disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. What is it, Kei-chan? It's just that I never thought the cries of the Higurashi could feel this good. What's gotten into you all of a sudden, Kei-chan? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Rena is doing. I bet she's getting her fill of Rika-chan by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It'd be great if she was able to take her home. I wonder. Rika-chan is pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head petting penalty was probably from Rika-chan. I thought so too. The only one who could get away with petting his head is Rika-chan after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Yeah, there's a lot of really good setup happening here that they kind of have to gloss by in the anime. We have unlocked new tips. Community notice. How y'all feel about tips? We're about to get some tips. We're gonna get some tips, and then we're gonna call it a night, and I'm gonna send y'all on over to somebody. That's what's gonna happen. Well, let's check out our tips. We're here for the tips. We come for the murder. We stay for the tips. Oh, no, back one. Tips are as good as nip. Yeah, like there's a lot of detail you don't get in the show. And the show is fine as it is. They did what they could with 26 episodes. Because, I mean, you've only got so much time to work with. And they did a fantastic job with the time they had to work with. So, and that worked out better in Kai. Because in Kai, they only had to cover, like, 2 arcs. And, like, those are the big ones that you want. Okay, so community notice. What is the community notice? We're greeting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Watanagashi is finally upon us. I believe that the assistance of the town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bazaar goods. We look forward to a well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition, holding a massive collection of excess goods and used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management, Makino. Telephone, there's your number. Recruiting Lil Festival drum dancers. The renowned Lil Festival Drum Dancers group is known for its careful choreography. The Shofu Society is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any Showboat elementary and middle schoolers. Management, Kimiyoshi. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of 1,000 yen. For every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be rewarded with a refreshment stand ticket. Management, Sonozaki. Telephone number. We are always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival at all times. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi at XXX. There is a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. That's a cute detail to just mention there. That was cute. Adding a... What do we got here? This is one was more interested in Yugi beating Pegasus the Duels game. So we are going to go ahead, grab a hot save. Oh, bet you thought I was going to save in the first one, didn't you? Look at that. I saved in the second file. Just when you think that you know all the answers, I changed the questions. Here we go. So, with that, we're going to call it there. I don't think I'm going to be doing this tomorrow night. I got some things that I need to be doing. So, Saturday and Sunday when we will be meeting again to do some more reading if this is your thing. Appreciate everybody once again for stopping by. It'll probably start getting real next time we stream. So, we are hitting that point of the story. Right about the time of the Watanagashi is when shit always starts going down. So, club activities might to start taking a little bit of a back seat, unfortunately. But let's see who's streaming. See who we can send you all on over to have a good time with. And thank you for coming to the stream. Like I said, Saturday and Sunday night, it looks like when we will be gathered again. I'll probably try and go like 4 or so hours, and I'll probably start an hour or so earlier on those nights. And that should get us pretty fucking deep into this thing if we don't finish it. But yeah, so Saturday and Sunday is when we will next meet. On that note, let's see who will be streaming. After 5 is still streaming. He is playing Langrisser. It is a mobile game, but he is playing it with Trails in the Sky characters almost exclusively. So, that's a good time. And it's usually a nice chill stream there anyway. So go there, hang out with After 5. We will catch you all next time. Thanks again for stopping by. And you should. Streaming is fun. Even if you're doing dumb shit like reading a visual novel, I guess. People will come by and say hi. for some weird reason. I don't know why. I have the most grating voice in humanity. Well, there you go. Get more people streaming. It's fun. It's a good time. I'll talk to y'all next time. See you on Saturday for more Higurashi.